So we start looking at the fifth S here. Fifth S is Shitsuke or self-discipline. Look at the picture. How many of the dogs here just waiting for the cat to cross? Self-discipline. So recently in one of the discussion we were having in our family dining table, uh, it was told that if a boy can actually resist taking a marshmallow piece sitting in a room in front of him, nobody else in the, sitting in a room along with the marshmallow, if he can resist himself from taking that and eating it for 15 minutes, that is considered to be one of the best tests for self-discipline. So let's look at it. Self-discipline basically means when you don't have anybody to supervise and you have a self-initiative to ensure that you don't litter your workplace yourself. And we try to cover here self-discipline being the prime requirement of effective implementation of 5S. The heart of 5S is the behavioral aspect of the heart of 5S is the behavioral aspect of the people. Learning and education is a part of this 5S. Meaning of Shitsuke being maintaining the system basically. If you really wanted to maintain the system, you have to ensure that everybody does what is supposed to do themselves, not try to wait for somebody to tell you to do that particular job. That is when you have a self-discipline. Uniform identification with the organization are some of the basic parts of demonstrating the self-discipline. What is this fifth years? Shitsuke. Shitsuke is the condition where all employees practice 4S spontaneously and willingly as a way of life or as a culture, not to wait for somebody to give you some direction. It should become a habit of all the employees to follow the procedures currently specified as a morals or even a traffic signal. You don't wait for a traffic police to come and tell you that please stop when the red light is there. So what is that we do here? How will you do this actually? Self-discipline. Complying with all the workplace rules, methods and making it a habit. Habit is basically repeated behavior. So if one of your habit like brushing your teeth in the morning is a behavior which is repeated on everyday basis and you really don't want anybody to tell you that go and brush your teeth and come for coffee. So we do that as a part of our culture or a part of our behavior. So that is how a self-discipline has to be demonstrated. Vital to strictly control time and absenteeism and wearing helmets, safety shoes, uniforms, nameplates, keeping oneself clean, neat and disciplined. How will you do that? Create rules which can be followed strictly and obeyed. Improvements are encouraged. There can be changes. It's not that you have a watertight compartment of a procedure or a standard operating system. You can always improve it. So the improvement has to be done on a controlled manner, and there has to be somebody who creates the process, approve the process, and make sure that it is communicated to all the people when the changes are happening. Sources of trouble and disorder is removed. 19.4S series Eton CSO CXU and create operating reports, operational reports on time every month. At the end of the month, you provide the reports. Should be a horizontal or vertical communication in all employees. So this could be some of the parts of that. Then what else we do here? How to implement it? You need to create SOPs, procedures. If you can have, if you are already practicing a ISO 9000 or 14000, any of the ISO standards, which actually requires your processes are defined, procedures are written down and displayed or communicated as it is required to be known to everybody, so that there is no need to really go on monitoring and ensuring that people are following the self-discipline. Make SOPs user friendly by visual media. Dissemination of the all employees to related employees. Dissemination to all related employees. In fact, I will even say that you may take these lessons and learnings to even your family, your wife, children, your parents, and whoever is there. And if you are quite an influential person, you could even take it to your residential area colony where you can actually plan implementation of your fire system. So demonstrate the implementation if somebody is not understanding, like fire extinguisher. When you have people should know how to operate that. Look at some of the visual controls which is used in safety, which could be a very good example for fibers also. So caution marks and maybe the water taps, how it should be used. Differentiate normal and abnormal situations. Use visual aids liberally for better impact. Try to put in everywhere no smoking or a direction in which you walk or queuing up for the canteen to take your food or queuing up in front of the bus to take your bus. These are all some of the examples of a good housekeeping, particularly the fifth yes, which is self-discipline. Self-discipline can be demonstrated through a lot of these examples. Clean as you go, or eat and smoke in designated area. Don't try to smoke everywhere. Don't try to sit and eat anywhere and then throw the garbages or throw the wastages in and around. Wear clean and uniform shirts. Maybe everyday cleaning, everyday taking baths, making sure that the personal hygiene is also ensured. Safety rule is something which needs to be much beyond your any other when there is a rule we need to follow. If you violate the rules, accidents do happen. How to sustain this self-discipline? Some of the methodologies we use: communication, informing the people about the 5S goals and combining posters, show 5S videos, share benchmark practices. Education, teach people how to apply 5S through orientation training. Rewards, recognize people for their efforts. Reward individually, groups, certification, and others. Training, allow to clean the work area, allow time to clean the work area, maybe in the beginning 5 minutes, after the work 5 minutes, during the lunch time, before the lunch time, after the lunch time. Identify what needs to be done, assign responsibilities and ensure schedule is updated and visible to all. Deputize tag team, sweep teams, 5S committees, zonal teams, audit teams, and maybe for various key areas, maybe you can have teams, zones, boundaries clearly defined, accountability is clearly defined, and responsibilities are mentioned. How will you evaluate? How will you measure what this 5S is, or how to what extent this 5S is implemented in your organization? Look at these examples. Maybe you can read through that. Sorting can be through a lot of unnecessary items, making it poor. Unnecessary things not at all found could be an excellent one. Arranging or straightening, employee often spend time searching, and necessary things are always available as and when it is required. Excellent. Sanitization, look at the dirtiness of the workplace, quite untidy. And if it is an excellent system, you will see that machines are clean and no oil is dripped down. Had a visit to one of the white goods company in Japan. Totally an engineering company, lot of oil, lot of lubes, and lot of uh, chemicals being used there. Paints are being used there. But you will see that the workplace is so neat and clean that you could even sit down on the floor and eat food in the workplace. Good benchmark for an excellent sanitizing or CSO. Another company in Bangalore where again an engineering company, the managing director himself drives the 5S activity, and he ensures that every inch of the factory starting from the gate onwards is neat and clean. We just want to ensure, just wanted to check how this statement of the managing director is really or realized in actual practice. We went to the toilet area. You know that that is supposed to be the most dirtiest place or most unhygienic place. But then, if that area, that toilet can be kept neat and clean without any bad smell, without any water leaking, neat, clean, and dry, we found to our pleasant surprise that there were people who are very comfortable, as I told you, to the extreme that they can even sit there and drink coffee, tea. To that extent, they were comfortable. And this is something which I say is an excellent sanitization process. Standardization means many of you who are um, taking this course could be some experience on ISO 9001, and it is a PDCA concept. So if there are attention given to all the workplaces neat and tidy, and a system is available, instructions are demonstrated, then that is an excellent system. And maybe the otherwise is a bad system. And finally, looking at a measurement for a self-discipline, people are doing as they like it, so that means there is no system. And everything, including the paperwork, checking machines, time management, and making sure that no spillage, no oils, no chips, no debris lying here and there, means an excellent self-discipline in the workplace. What we do here to identify a work which you may have to try it out and see how it can be implemented. Select a work area or a small work area, not a big one, to implement Shitsuke. Analyze the problem, try to find out what is that issue which they have, particularly issues related to self-discipline. Draw a cause and effect diagram for that. Why a person is spitting everywhere? Maybe why a person is putting the littering the workplace? Why is he not able to ensure that the oil is not leaking? Or why is he not uh, not concerned about the health of himself, health and hygiene of himself? So develop an improvement action and evaluate the results. As you know that maybe in an electronic course like this, e-course like this, we may not be able to check whether you have done your exercises properly, but we will try to show you some examples which actually can help you to understand that you have the concept clearly understood and you are able to apply that concept into your workplace. Thank you.